sound quality here won't be as good as the previous lectures, but at least this one is a change of scene from those books behind me. I'm standing in the outdoor chapel here at St Mark's in Canberra, and it seemed appropriate to introduce the lecture on creation in the outdoors, the beauties of the outdoors, and we're lucky here in Canberra to be able to step outside the office and have this lush vegetation around us. I'm a word person, and for better or for worse, my creativity, the unique gifts given to me by God, are expressed in speaking, writing and listening. Some of you will share my gift, and for those amongst us, and you know who you are, if you express your God-given creativity in words, then some aspects of study will come easier to you. But there are many expressions of God's creativity among us, and you can just see the stonework in this cross behind me, and many other ways in which people express with their hands God's creativity. The church, and particularly the Protestant tradition, has tended to give more highly prize word gifts over any other kind of gifts. And there's a whole backstory for that, and maybe when you get to that part of your studies you'll start to understand how and why. But what I wanted to do in the beginning of this lecture is to draw attention to a closer connection between perhaps the word gifts and other gifts, particularly those with the hand, as we consider this story of creation in Genesis. Just beside me here, obviously not close enough, is a beautifully handcrafted bag I brought back with me from India. It was made by a young woman, probably aged only 15 or 16, whose family had been relocated from a slum in the centre of New Delhi to an outlying city some 70 kilometres away. And one of the partner organisations that I was there to support was working with these relocated young men and women to ensure continuity in their schooling and skills training. And I watched some bags exactly like this one being woven. In Hindi, the root of the word to weave, karana, is also the form of the word to write, karana. And my Hindi is hopeless, I'm probably not pronouncing either of them correctly. But transliterated into English, they look identical. I'm told this is true in other languages. The marginalised Macab people of Paraguay have the same word for weaving and writing. In these languages and the cultures that the languages were formed, they make this intrinsic connection between the handwritten and the handwoven, or between storytelling and craft making, or if you like, between narrative and art. The connection will come as no surprise for those who are familiar with Indigenous storytelling and art making, where both in rock art and the corroboree dance, the primary ways of storytelling in that culture. I want to suggest to you that the same deep and profound connection is at work here in the beginning of our scriptures in Genesis 1. A story, a Hebrew story, beautifully told, artfully created, written, woven together, just as God's self, speaks and weaves creation into existence.